What is your name?
Morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. So yesterday I started this online classes. So this video will be sent from Sacred Heart because at home I don't have the facility. Initially I've gone for the two preparations. Today I'll continue. Okay. And those who are the students of the Sacred Heart, they will timing and everything will know for some math. And those who are my students, I'll try to fix up some timing with them. So I'll let you know. Okay. At home, my net is very slow also. I do not have so many equipment also to record it. So maybe it is a matter of 10, 15 days. Otherwise, I'll get your class done too. Okay. All right. And most of you are having classes, online classes from schools. What time it starts? School? The classes start from what time? Hello?
Sir, 9.
From 9 to?
It starts from 9, sir.
9. It starts from 9 and ends at what time?
Sir, at 3.
3. 9 to 3. Continuous classes you are having.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Well, for us,
So we have a gap. So of 1 hour.
See, generally those whom I was teaching at home, for them the classes I used to stage it from 3:30 to 5:30. So I'll see if I can get the class in the evening only after your school classes over. Okay? Right. So
but sir, for us, we have classes at 5:30 also. It's there at 6:30 also classes there. At times 8 also.
no,
We don't really have a specific timing.
But no,
We
you are
start
not
at 10
having.
in the morning.
Do you have such classes in every day?
Yes, we have except Saturdays and Sundays. We don't really have.
Every day you are having classes at that time.
Yeah.
After I'm not talking about the special, but those who are my students, please let me know. You send me that message in my group, your name and what time you are having classes in the evening. Let me see what time I can allot for you. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Anyway, so yesterday I started, and that one I sent the video first. Video I send it, and now is a live class. Okay.
Okay.
Yesterday I have discussed about the classification, isomerization in haloalkanes, and also I have done two preparations. One was the halogenation of alkenes, and second one the preparation of haloalkanes by addition of hydrogen halide. So there I did not discuss the mechanism. I told you that because you already done in class 11, I told that alkenes can be converted into haloalkanes by the Markovnikov addition of the hydrogen halide. And if it is a case of HBr, you can also get less substituted haloalkanes by addition to anti-Markovnikov rule. But anti-Markov rule is applicable only for only for hydrogen bromide. HCl and HI does not go for anti-Markovnikov addition. Okay, that's already I have told you in class 11. So, so today I am going for the classes. Hello. So today I'll start the preparation of haloalkanes from alcohol. Yesterday I have given a brief idea, but anyway today I'll continue. The preparation of haloalkanes from alcohol. From alcohol. And I told you that our aim is to prepare this. And I told you also that organic chemistry preparation, you always read from right to left, from here to here. This is our destination. So first, from should I start? Initially, when it was alkanes, I have written, this is the formula of alkane. This hydrogen is being replaced by halogen. I have got this one. So that name of the preparation is called halogenation of alkane. Now, we have already prepared it. So let me take another starting material. So I have taken alcohol. So if the OH group is being replaced with halogen, I get RCH2X. So this OH group must be replaced. See, whenever a replacement or substitution reaction occurs, the parent molecule lose another neutral molecule. But this is not a neutral molecule. It will go out in the form of hydroxide. So what I can do to make it neutral molecule, can I now write like this? Here, if I add this one, what do I get? I get water. And this X will take the place of OH. So this is called, we know HX is called hydrogen halide, or we call it hydrohalogation of alcohol, or reaction of alcohols with hydrogen halide gives us corresponding alcohol. And now see, you know it that it is a nucleophilic substitution reaction. So what it will go from there? What it will happen? OH minus will go out, and what it will enter? X minus will enter, because we know a negatively charged species replaces another negatively charged species. Okay, so it is called nucleophilic substitution reaction. Or a positively charged species will going to replace a positively charged species. So that is called electrophilic substitution reaction. Yes, so it is a nucleophilic substitution reaction. So by nucleophilic substitution reaction, I can convert alcohol into corresponding halogen. But it is a natural thing there. Always you remember that a strong substance replaces a weak substance. That you have seen in sports also. Anyone who is stronger, who is more efficient, he always vanquishes the weaker one. So hydroxide is a stronger nucleophile than that of halide. Then how could halide could replace a stronger one? Yes, it can be done, because if it takes the help of some other substances to replace it, we call it a catalyst. Clear? So I'm going to show you the mechanism of formation of this hydrogen halide. It is not in your syllabus, but you have to understand, because in case of your further study or for your entrance exam, you have to understand the actual thing which is happening in a chemical reaction. Yes? All right. Now, I'm going to write its mechanism. Don't get scared by mechanism. Mechanism is very simple. It is a logical explanation of a chemical reaction which we are not able to see by our own naked eye. See here. Step 1. What is the step 1? It is suppose I have taken here HX. We know hydrogen halides are all acidic. It can be hydrochloric acid, hydrochloric acid, hydroiodic acid. So what will happen? Acids will always undergo dissociation. Always undergo dissociation. Now see here. In class 11, you have read about different types of acids. So there you have come across Bronsted Lowry acid, you come across Lewis bases. So what is a Lewis base? Lewis base is a substance which can donate a pair of electrons. Yes, all these days we know that alcohol is a neutral molecule. No, dear. See, oxygen has 2 lone pairs and it can donate this lone pair. So alcohol is a strong Lewis base. And what do you have here? You have a Lewis acid. What is a Lewis acid? Lewis acid is a substance which can accept a pair of electrons. So when acid and bases are lying side by side, what will happen? They will react. Okay. What it is going to form now? See here, it's going to form RCH2O. See. So it forms an intermediate where oxygen is carrying a positive charge, and these stable species are called oxonium ion. It forms an oxonium. It forms an oxonium ion. So we know the normal valency of oxygen is 2. It has become 3. So this species is not stable. So from there, oxygen under a lot of strain, and oxygen will try to go out. So I'll show you the third step. Okay? I told you third step. And you know that in nucleophilic substitution reactions that I'm going to again discuss when I'll go to the properties of haloalkane. There are two types of nucleophilic substitution reactions are there. One is called SN1 and SN2. I'll say it in detail. Do not worry. All right? See. So I'm going to write this molecule in actual structural form. See, this carbon is sp3. We know that sp3 carbon are tetrahedral in nature. See here. I'm trying to draw a three-dimensional diagram. See here. This is three-dimensional. All right. And now this oxygen is highly strained. It wants to go out. So this cannot go of its own because the valence of carbon always has to be 4. One carbon get another species to satisfy its valency, then only is going to lose this one. Otherwise, it will not lose. We human being also do the same thing. Until and unless we do not get something as a substitute, we never leave the original one, whatever we have been. So see, X minus. See, this is the X minus. See, in this case, look, this X minus cannot come from this side. Why? This is a big part. So this part is going to block the entry of X minus. So X minus can only come from the back side. Okay? Why? Because hydrogen atoms are very small. It is not going to obstruct the entry of the X minus. All right. So what is going to happen? It will come like this and will knock out this one. See, it is the water molecule is going out. Anything which leaves the system, any group which leaves the system, we call them as leaving group. So what has happened? The nucleophile is attacking the intermediate from the back side of the leaving group. So what has happened now? What we have got are look at the geometry. Is it not the geometry opposite now? See here. Huh? The geometry is opposite. See, this is the haloalkane part. Clear? All right. But I'll show you in another way. So in that case, what I'll do? This is one way. Or I can write it in this way also for your understanding, because this mechanism I have not discussed till now. So let me make it simple. What I'll do is, I'll show it in this way. Let it go. Okay. Once it goes, what will happen? See here. You get plus water molecule. Why? Because this oxygen is more electronegative, so it has taken down both the electrons from the bond. What do you get now? carbon is having or lost the electron. So we know this is a electron deficient carbon species, and electron deficient carbon species are called what? Carbocation. So you get a carbocation. So immediately this carbocation takes the electron of the from the halogen. And what you get now here? You get here R2. See, the halogen anion or halide ion, which is a weaker base, which is a weaker nucleophile than hydroxide, how intelligently it has replaced OH minus in the form of water molecule. Right? Because the hydrogen given out by the hydrogen halide has acted as a catalyst. Otherwise, normally halogen cannot replace a OH group of the alcohol. See, one example I am giving you. When I have taken RCH2OH and I have reacted with HCl, what I'll get? I'll get here RCH2Cl and HCl. So, who is replacing the hydroxide? It is the chloride. Now, if it is so, if I have added some common salt to alcohol, see, this Cl is chloride, this is also chloride. Then in that case, it should have given us RCH2Cl plus NaOH. Is it not? No. This reaction does not occur because this reaction does not provide H plus ion, which is catalyzing the reaction. Excuse me. Hello. আচ্ছা আমি একটু পরে ফোন করি আমার ক্লাসে আছি please remember this reaction goes, this reaction does not go because this sodium chloride cannot provide H plus ion which has catalyzed the chemical reaction. Clear? Understood? Any problem? Hello? See, again I am telling you, whenever you react alcohol with HCl, HBr, HI, you can convert the alcohol into corresponding the haloalkane because the hydrochloric acid, hydrobromic acid, hydroiodic acid provide hydrogen ion which protonates the OH group of the alcohol and remove it in the form of water, and it forms a carbocation intermediate. This carbocation intermediate reacts with the halide ion to give you respective halogen. So it is here you will find it can be chloride, it can be bromide, or it can be iodide. In class 11, you have learned something about carbocation, and you know that there can be various types of carbocation. It can be tertiary carbocation, it can be secondary carbocation, it can be primary carbocation. And we know that tertiary carbocation is more stable than secondary, and secondary carbocations are more stable than primary. So let me find out the rate of the reaction. What is the rate of the reaction in that case? Who is here? The rate of the reaction depends upon rate of the reaction depends upon one, nature of alcohol. What type of alcohol you have taken?
Hey, how do you do?
Nature of alcohol, right? So in that case, what you will find? The tertiary alcohol will be faster than secondary and then primary.
Milo.
Your tertiary carbohydrate is more stable. It will immediately react then faster than secondary and then the primary. And second is the nature of HF, nature of the acid that you have used. Okay, so you'll find that hydroiodic acid undergoes very fast dissociation because hydroiodic acid bond is very, very weak. So in that case, it is like this. So please remember, this is the rate of the reaction. So if I have taken a tertiary alcohol, reaction will be very fast. If I got a secondary alcohol, it will be little slower. And in case of primary alcohol, the reaction does not occur at room temperature. You can do it only when you heat it. Okay. Now, in that case, you will find, let me do the reaction with individual acid. Say reaction with HCl. See here. So I write here now. RCH2 OH HCl. What it will give me? It will give me RCH2Cl and HCl. See, this reaction is producing water. Water is also a nucleophile. So you have to remove water. Otherwise, what will happen? It will again, the reaction will come back to the left hand side. It is going to maintain a reversibility. How to stop the backward reaction? Backward reaction can be stopped only when you remove water molecule from the reaction. How to remove water molecule? See, whenever you take bath, how do you remove water that you added in your body? What do you do? When you go to take bath, do you take towel or a plastic sheet? What do you take?
Towel.
Plastic sheet or towel?
Towel.
Right? Because towel can absorb water faster than the plastic sheet because of the capillary action of the towel. So here also, if I remove water, I cannot put my hanky inside the chemical. So I have to use a reagent which can absorb water. So what you do here? In that case, we use anhydrous. Anhydrous means dry. We put here zinc chloride. If you put here anhydrous zinc chloride, it is going to absorb water molecule and reaction will go very, very smoothly. I'll give one example. See here. Suppose I have taken here tertiary alcohol. We have already seen the tertiary alcohol is very fast in reaction. And to that I have added concentrated hydrochloric acid. And I have used here anhydrous zinc chloride. You can write abbreviation in the form of ANHYD. Okay? So what is going to happen? See, instantly, moment you add it, immediately you will find this has formed. Okay? See, alcohol is as clear as water. Hydrochloric acid is also transparent and clear. It is colorless substance. Moment you mix both of them in presence of anhydrous zinc chloride, you will find the liquid substance, the test tube has become opaque, blurred. We call that to be turbidity. Turbidity indicates the formation of this compound. So what I'm going to write, I'll call it instant turbidity. Instant turbidity. All right? It will form instant turbidity. Now, if I have taken secondary alcohol. See, this is tertiary alcohol. And if I have taken secondary alcohol, secondary, see, it is only one hydrogen, no hydrogen, tertiary. One hydrogen, secondary. Similarly, if I carry out this reaction with HCl in presence of N-hydrous zinc chloride, this is also going to form corresponding chloride, but the reaction is slower. The reaction is slow. So turbidity appears after 5 minutes. So we'll write here turbidity appeared after 5 minutes. Both the reactions are done at room temperature. But if I carry out this reaction of primary alcohol at room temperature, reaction does not occur. Okay, so I don't have any space to write. This is secondary. I'll just change it here. Okay, this is primary alcohol. Primary alcohol, room temperature. So what I'll write? No reaction. So whatever theoretically we have learned about the stability of carbocation, experimentally we have proved it. This reaction will occur if you heat it. Otherwise, it is not going to occur. So what I can write here, that if I heat it, then only it is going to form this. Okay, these three reactions, whatever I have written, is very important for exam. You know why? Not for this chapter, but for the next chapter, alcohol. See here, this is tertiary, this is secondary, this is primary. So by this reaction, we can identify which alcohol is tertiary, which is secondary, and which is primary. Why? Because tertiary alcohol immediately gives the product at room temperature, and secondary alcohol forms it after some time, and the primary alcohol, they form it. They do not form at all at room temperature, but they form it only on heating. So this distinction or the test is known as Lucas test. Please remember about the spelling. Is Lucas, is not look up. Lucas test. And this reagent, concentrated HCl plus N-hydrous zinc chloride, is known as Lucas reagent. Do you have any question? Or you don't ask any question? Huh? Then you are very bright student. Okay. Let me now discuss about the reaction with HBr. In your textbook, of course, it is given. So when I go for HBr, what is going to happen? Everything is same. But in HBr, we do not add anhydrous zinc chloride as a dehydrating agent. We use concentrated H2SO4. Concentrated H2SO4. So what you will get now here? You will get here R CH2Br plus H2O. Heat. All right. So Please remember, for hydrochloric acid, we are using anhydrous zinc chloride. For hydrobromic acid, we are using concentrated H2SO4. All right. Now, HBr is not that frequently available as hydrochloric acid that you will find in your chemistry laboratory, and it's costly also. So what to do? No problem. This reaction we carry out with a cheaper reagent, sodium bromide. But just now I told you the sodium bromide does not react with this one. Then why did I take sodium bromide? No problem there. Here we use here concentrated H2SO4. If you do not add this one, reaction will not occur. If you add concentrated H2SO4, the reaction will occur. Okay? So this will give you rest of the thing that I'm going to write. Please see here. Sodium bromide plus H2SO4 concentrated gives us NaHSO4 plus HBr. See, in your test tube or the reaction flask, sodium bromide and concentrated sulfuric acid, first they react to give you HBr. So in that case, you don't have to spend huge amount of money to buy HBr from the market. You can generate in the laboratory itself. And after that, the reaction will occur. So what should I write it here now? I'm going to write NaHSO4 plus H2O that you get from the recombination of H and OH. Understood? Sometimes this reaction question comes. Why this reaction of sodium bromide with alcohol does not produce corresponding bromoalkane? So you have to write that sodium bromide does not react with alcohol directly, because the reaction of alcohol proceeds only in presence of hydrogen ion as catalyst. So this reaction does not produce. So once you add concentrated sulfuric acid, sodium bromide initially forms hydrobromic acid. Hydrobromic acid supplies us H plus ion, which catalyzes the chemical reaction to form corresponding bromoalkane. Clear? This is there in the textbook. Okay. Now I am to prepare iodine. So what should I add now here? I will add here HI. Alcohol reacts with hydroiodic acid to give us corresponding iodine. But for your information and very important one, when you use hydroiodic acid, you do not use concentrated sulfuric acid. Again, very important question for exam. Why do you not use it? Because concentrated sulfuric acid is an oxidizing agent. It oxidizes hydrogen iodide to iodine. If iodine is being formed, iodine will not react with alcohol. So what we are going to use? We are going to use a strong dehydrating agent, but which should not be oxidizing in nature. So what we are going to use? We are going to use H3PO4. This is called phosphoric acid or phosphoric acid. Phosphoric acid immediately absorbs water, but phosphoric acid does not oxidize it. Clear? So I'm going to change a little bit here. I'll get here now. Water. So what is going to happen? See here. Concentrated sulfuric acid. When you heat it, it decomposes to give us water, sulfur dioxide, and atomic oxygen or nascent oxygen. This nascent oxygen oxidizes hydrogen iodide to give water and I2. This is very, very important. So if the question comes, you will say that concentrated sulfuric acid is a strong oxidizing agent and oxidizing hydrogen iodide to iodine. Hence, in the preparation of iodoalkanes from alcohol, concentrated H2SO4 is not used. Instead of that, and a non-oxidizing dehydrating agent in the form of orthophosphate is used. But how do you prepare in the laboratory? Again, I told you, HBr and is very costly and rare. Same thing is also hydrogen iodide is also hydrohydric acid is also very costly and rare. So in that case, we'll do the same technique. What we'll do here? I will not take here hydrogen iodide. I'll take here sodium iodide. See, sodium iodide reacts with phosphoric acid to form NaH2PO4 plus HI. See here. So you got HI. So here what I'm going to write? Here I'm going to write this one. NaH2PO4 plus H2. Finish. The depth. This is the way we prepare in our laboratory. Okay? So, that yesterday's class, I told you that video will be posted in your account. Somnath will post it for Secretariat students and I will post it to my group. Okay. Then it is a continuation. So you will find, if you go through that one, you will find till now we have discussed three types of reaction preparations. One, the preparations directly from alkanes, where you go for the halogenation of alkanes by using halogen directly, and the condition is that either you have to carry out the reaction at very high temperature or we do it in terms of ultraviolet light. Second, you can prepare it by the addition of hydrogen halide, HCl, HBr, HI to alkane. So when you go for addition reaction, in that case there are two paths are there. One, by following the Markovnikov addition rule. Markovnikov addition rule gives us more substituted halide. Or if you use hydrobromic acid HBr, in that case you have another option to use peroxide, and in that case you will get here less substituted bromoalkane, okay, and that is known as anti-Markovnikov addition rule. Clear? So I have something to tell you. Maybe we have done in class 11 class also. So you know, in organic chemistry, one question comes, conversion, and I know all of you are very scared of conversion. No, conversions are not difficult. Conversions, you will be able to do conversions only when you start practicing the organic chemical reaction. See, they may give you convert 1 bromopropane to 2 bromopropane to 2 bromopropane. How you do? No problem. See here. Let me write. Never get scared in your life. Any problem you can call me also. See, this is 1 bromopropane and this is 2 bromopropane. All right. Now it is not that you take a scissor and cut it and put it with Fevikwik. No, it is not possible. We have to carry out the chemical reaction. See here. how to do it. So in that case, say suppose you are going to a new place and you do not know the road, and in you find in different places the PWD put some directions to the road. Suppose that direction is being uprooted because of storm. All right. And how will you again fix it? You know from the place where you have started it. So you put the arrow from the direction from where you come. Once you put the arrow, other arrow get automatically fixed. So you know which way to go. Whether should you go to Limekota side or you should go to Maximize. So in that case, what I'll do, I will treat this reaction with alcoholic potassium hydroxide. Okay. If I treat it with alcoholic potassium hydroxide, you know, it will give you have already studied in class 11 that it goes for elimination reaction. So what you are going to get? You will get the propane. Then, if I simply add here HBr, see, this is an unsymmetrical reagent and this is an unsymmetrical alkane. It is addition rule. If it follows Markovnikov addition rule, the bromide is a negative part, it will go to that carbon which has less number of hydrogen atoms. See, such beautifully you have got this one. You can get it. So, for that you don't have to worry. Now, what is written there? 1 bromopropane to 2 bromopropane. And they may write, and vice versa. Means what? You have to convert 2 bromopropane to 1 bromopropane. Clear? So that also you can do it. See here, we'll follow the same thing there. So I'm doing like this. So I write down here alcoholic potassium hydroxide. So from here hydrogen and from here bromine will go. So again you get the same thing here. CH3, CH, double bond, CH. You again got propane. Now I'll follow now anti-Markovnikov rule. What I'll do? In anti-Markovnikov rule, I will take here peroxide. So in that case, this Br will go to the carbon, which is having more number of hydrogen atoms. This is important for your school conversion. In board exam, they may not give it because it's too simple. But in school exam, if you are going to follow some unit test, this question may come. Please write down. Please write. I give you 2 minutes time. Now, I'll list it. This. Hello, have you written? Huh? I cannot hear. All of you are sleeping or what? Hello.
Still writing, sir.
Writing, right. And if you do not understand, maybe my words also may not be clear, immediately interrupt me. I never mind. If student interrupts me, I never mind. If you finish, you please tell me.
Finish, sir.
Oh, very good. But what about these lazy boys? I know girls are very smart.
So wait.
Hindi mo? Ladab?
No, sir.
Okay. Then ask your other this male species endangered. Have you finished?
Yes, sir.
Good. So we have Should I give one more preparation for entrance exam, or you don't want to appear entrance exam? Huh?
So we'll attend.
You will, all of you will appear. Okay. See here. I'm going to write this molecule. This is not alcohol, dear. Okay, this. What is the name of this molecule? Remember? This is called propene, no?
162.
Okay, propene. See here. Just now I have shown you example, the addition of, whenever you add HBr, it either comes this carbon or this carbon. So yesterday's video you can see, Sumnath will upload, or I will also upload it to my group. In that case, you will find these two carbons are called vinyl carbon, and this carbon is called allyl carbon. Allyl carbon. Clear? Now in allyl carbon, I am to introduce one CH3. Sorry, one bromine or chlorine. Now suppose if I add bromine at room temperature, in that case bromine will not come here. Bromine will undergo addition on these two carbons. So what you will get here? You will get here Br, CH, CH. Okay, I like it here like this. Huh? My handwriting is very bad. I am also, as a person also, I am not good. See, I wanted to put it here, but where did it go? It did not come to the allyl carbon. Okay? This carbon is called allyl. And these two carbons are called vinyl. So where did the bromine go? Did it go to allyl or vinyl? Please see here. Please respond. Where did it go? I wanted to put bromine in allyl carbon, but actually where did it go?
It goes to
It went to
vinyl.
the vinyl carbon. So what to do? In that case, we will be using some other conditions. That is called the allyl bromination or allyl halogenation. See, I am doing it at room temperature. See, dear, if I carry out this reaction at very high temperature, because I know the temperature will not be able to remember, but it is above 700 Kelvin. Or you can carry out this reaction in presence of ultraviolet light. Dear, this bromine will not go here, but it will come here. So let me write here Br2. So it will be CH. See, double bond is not disturbed, and here is then. See, very interestingly, this example is there in your chemistry textbook, but in your text it is missing. I do not know what the chemistry, CBSE chemistry textbook. It is a jack of all trades, master of none. Many places they did not write. Your chemistry textbook is just like breaking news. Only information is there, explanation is not there. Okay. Now, another reagent is also being used. It's exceptional for your entrance exam. Yeah, I can also carry out this reaction with the help of a special reagent. Okay, don't get scared by the structure of the reagent. See this one. This is called N-bromosuccinimide. N-bromosuccinimide. In short form, we write NBS. It's a very important reagent. And here we take some peroxide. Or you can carry out the reaction in presence of ultraviolet light. This bromine is going to exchange the position from here to here. And what you will get it here? You will get this. And here you will get You will get here. See, the position of the hydrogen and bromine are exchanged. Okay? So, this equation is first you have written. Then the second equation, don't write this portion. You write this from here up to this. This is absolutely for your entrance exam. So this year the situation is very difficult. As I would have taught you right from the month of May, each and every detail of your entrance exam. So I'm very worried for you, you know. So I don't know what to do, and I'm not that well advanced with this internet and mobile and all these things. I'm an old person. All right, I should have born 200 years back. So anyway, the Sacred Heart, they are helping me to take your classes. I'm very grateful to you. Finish, writing finish. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Ah, good. Late. All right. All right. Now, I'm going for the fourth preparation. The fourth preparation is called halogen exchange reaction. Halogen exchange. Halogen exchange reaction. In that case, one of the halogen which is already there in the molecule, we change it with the other. Sometimes it happens with in your house also. You find, suppose your sister has a beautiful skirt, so you want to wear it. So in that case, do you not use her dresses also? You use her dresses also. In that case also, we can also do it. It's called halogen exchange reaction. So halogen exchange reaction, there are two types of halogen exchange reaction. One is called Finkelstein. Finkelstein reaction. Okay. Finkelstein reaction. Whatever I will tell you, now you please write down the definition of this one. Finkelstein reaction. Should I say?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please write. Right. It is a reaction where chlorine or bromine atom of a haloalkane is replaced with iodine atom, where the chloro and bromoalkane are treated with sodium iodide, NaI, sodium iodide in dry acetone. Okay.
So,
So,
dry.
treated with sodium iodide in dry acetone, DRY, dry. Okay. So now please write down the equation. RCH2X plus NaI. It will give you RCH2I and NaX. Okay. Here please write dry acetone. And what is X here? X is equal to Cl or Br. Okay? Finish?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now see. Now the question may be asked, you know the teachers are very funny. And whatever your experience with the exam process, whatever you study, that question does not come. Na? The thing which you did not study, from there only question comes. What is your experience? Am I wrong?
Yes, sir.
Huh? So the question may come, why dry acetone is used in the reaction? So please write down the answer. First you write the question. Why dry acetone is used in Finkelstein reaction? Right. Answer. Right. Both NaCl, sodium chloride, and NaBr, sodium bromide, are insoluble in dry acetone. So the reaction proceeds smoothly to form large amount of iodoalkane. All right. Now I go for the second one. This is called Schwartz reaction. Schwartz. Schwartz reaction. Can you see what I've written?
Yes,
Is it
sir.
visible? Okay. So write down the definition of the reaction. Right. In this reaction, the chloro and bromoalkanes are converted into corresponding fluoroalkane, fluoro, F-L-U-O-R-O, fluoroalkane, by their reaction with write down silver fluoride, AgF, Ag2F2, SbF3, COF2, etc. Okay, so you can write any chemical equation. Suppose you have taken here CH3, CH2, CH2, Cl. So I write here now AgF. So what it will give me? CH3, CH2, CH2F plus AgCl. Okay? Say you have taken CH2Br and CH2Br. Okay? So if in that case, if I have taken here COF2, it will give me CH2F CH2S plus COBr. So with this, I finish the preparation of the haloalkane. Yeah. So now, okay, finish it. So now you write down separately preparation of haloarine. Preparation of haloarine.
Pardon, sir?
Preparation of haloarine. Halo, ARENES, or aryl halide, ARYL HALIDES, aryl halide. Means, aryl halide means what? Aromatic halo compound. Okay. So, say I have taken benzene. Alright. And I want to prepare chlorobenzene. First, try to understand. See here. This is aromatic hydrocarbon, and I am going to prepare. This is chlorobenzene, or this is aryl halide. So, how to do? So, we know all the carbon here in benzene has one hydrogen. If I remove one of the hydrogen by chlorine, I should get this one. See, initially, same thing I also have done in case of haloalkane. What did it give? It gave me this one. So, if we think that if you do the same thing, because this is also hydrocarbon, this is also hydrocarbon, then I should get here. Okay? So, I write here Cl2 and I put in the same condition. Then in that case, what should I get? I should get here HCl. But very interestingly here, it did not go for substitution. In this case, the reaction did not give us this, but it has given altogether a different compound. It did not undergo substitution reaction, but it has undergone addition reaction, and you get here see here. These are the original hydrogen. This is the original hydrogen, and in all the places, one chlorine has entered. So this is not the one. See, this is aromatic. This is not aromatic. So our reaction did not fail, but it has given a different compound. Okay. So this reaction is called benzene hexachloride. This is a very important pesticide. You heard about DDT? DDT
Yes,
name did you hear? Okay. This compound is also being used as a pesticide for the substitute of DDT, and it is found to be much more effective than DDT. So this experiment did not work, but it has given us a altogether different compound. But please write down this reaction. Written?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, in that case, then how to get this one? We have to change the reaction condition. All right. So I'm going to write it separately. What I'll do now, in this reaction, I'm going to use a catalyst. I'll add here anhydrous ferric chloride or anhydrous AlCl3. We are going to use it as a catalyst. So when I go for this one, then we get the compound which actually we wanted. So the halogenation of benzene or chlorination of benzene is being done in presence of anhydrous aluminum chloride or anhydrous ferric chloride to get chlorobenzene. All right. Similarly, if I do the bromination in presence of anhydrous ferric bromide or anhydrous aluminum chloride, aluminum bromide, then we'll get here corresponding bromobenzene and HBr. Okay. Now, did you write?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now I want to prepare iodobenzene. When I do it with iodobenzene, the catalyst is not required. Okay. We simply take iodine and heat it. Heat. Okay. So I will get here iodobenzene and hydrogen iodide. But this reaction has a problem, serious problem. Why? Hydrogen iodide is a very strong reducing agent. It reduces iodobenzene to benzene. Okay. So what should I write here now here? I will write it is a reversible reaction. Now how to stop this one? We can stop this reaction if I damage this hydrogen iodide. So how to damage this one? We do it in presence of, if we carry out this same reaction in presence of an oxidizing agent, right? Like HiO3. HiO3 is called iodic acid. Iodic acid. Okay? In that case, you will find the iodic acid will immediately react with HI. How it is going to react? It will react with oxidize to give you iodine and CH2. Okay? This is given in your book. This is the way we can prepare haloarine. What will be the name of this process? It is nothing but halogenation of aromatic hydrocarbons. Halogenation of aromatic hydrocarbons is to carry out for chlorination and bromination we require catalyst, and for iodination we can carry out in presence of an oxidizing agent. Okay. See, the moment you finish writing, you have to tell me. Otherwise, I may rub the board. All right, done.
Finish, sir.
Okay. Now, second method. Second method is, okay. Oh, yes, I will go for the first method again. See here. First, I have taken benzene. And I have taken this one. See, it is the aromatic part and this is the aliphatic. So if I go for the chlorination, if I do it in presence of catalyst, it will come here. If I do it in presence of ultraviolet light, it will come here. So in that case, let me do it. So this is known as this is called side chain. Side chain halogenation reaction. So in side chain halogenation reaction, what we do? We do not use catalyst. Here we use chlorine, and here we are going to use ultraviolet light. If you use ultraviolet light, chlorine will not come here, it will go here. So what you are going to get? See, it has 3 hydrogen. One after another, it will be in this place. So see here, chlorine is not going to the ring, chlorine is going to the methyl group, and you will get this. This name of this one is benzyl chloride. Okay. Now again I'll do it. Cl2 UV. Another hydrogen will be replaced. You'll get here CH, Cl2 plus HCl. Okay. Then again I'll do. Oh, what is the name of this one? It's called benzyl. BNZAL. Benzyl chloride. Okay. Again you will. So you will find ultimately all the 3 hydrogen of methyl group now will be replaced with chlorine. Okay, and this is called benzo trichloride. This is important for conversion. So I will continue with our next day. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.